So, good morning, everyone. We welcome you all to this PDW session, which is the third session. And among us, we have a very exalted personality here who will be taking your session in this PDW. So, I just like to make some few announcements before we begin. I would kindly request everyone to please rename yourselves, as I mentioned in the chat box, with your college name and then your name, so that it will be easier for us to track your attendance in this case. And also, if you have any questions, we will be providing you a separate Google form link so that you can ask your questions there itself. So, because no questions would be entertained in the chat box. So, please take a note of this. We will be providing you the link every 10 or 15 minutes or so. So, please ask your questions if you have any on that link. So, before we begin, I would just like to give a brief introduction of our professor who would be taking this session. His name is Professor Snehil Agrahari, and he's currently a professor at SEB Institute, Pune. In the past, he used to work as a software engineer at SoftLink International Private Limited, and he has his BTech from our VIT college itself. He's an alumnus. Apart from this, he was involved in guiding and helping students in personality and life management in different engineering colleges. And then apart from this itself, reading and sharing about higher dimensional sciences based on Vedic literatures and psychological models also. He has conducted various seminars like Art of Mind Control, Peace Formula, Power of Habits, Art of Harnessing Mind Power, Stress Management, and the like in various colleges, including our college, VIT, PVG, COET, BVNIT, Trichy, etc., and many other renowned colleges as well. So we are very much grateful to have Snehil sir among us. So without any further ado, we would like to begin right away. We will just hop in right now. So Snehil sir, would you kindly enlighten us today?
Okay, thank you very much, Aditya, for bringing us all together here in this PTW session. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible, coordinators?
Yes, you're
Am I
audible, sir.
audible clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So, thank you very much, all of you. We are really very grateful to have you all here. Many times we make many plans, we go out, we do so many things. So, you have taken out your valuable time to invest in building up your personality by joining this PTW session. So, before starting our session, I would like to congratulate all of you, even though you might have received these congratulations many times because now you are way ahead in your academic life in VIT college life. But still, because we are meeting for first time, so that's why I would like to congratulate all of you for getting admission in this very prestigious college of VIT. And as Aditya already mentioned, that I am also passed out from VIT itself. So really, you all really have a very bright future if you very actively participate in your college life, if you actively involve yourself in your academic as well as co-curricular and various activities. Like obviously now everything is online. As soon as you come back to your college and even on online platform, you can be as active as otherwise. So apart from being in VIT college, you are also very fortunate that you have taken to this PD club also. So I can remember like few years ago, around 6 or 7 years ago, I was in your place. Like I was also attending these sessions and taking all the guidance. And really, it has helped me a lot over a period of few years in my college life. This PD club and especially this wisdom I course, which was called by some other name that time, but still the content and everything was the same. So this PD club has helped me a lot in my whole uh, college life as well as after that also. Like not see friends, as you all might be already knowing, it's not that we will be ending our relationship just with this wisdom I course. After that we have a lot of courses lined up for you. Along with courses, we have personal guidance also, which we receive. And even during our placement times, we get help of a lot of our seniors. So I would not call this PD Club as a club, rather I would call it as a family, where we receive an overall nourishment in our life and very nice, very helping guidance. So I just felt like expressing that. So now we'll begin with our actual session. Rather than calling it a session, I would like to call it as a a request to all of you is that please be very inquisitive. This whole course is all about like asking questions. I'll be asking you questions. You all will be answering through chat box, and any kind of doubts you have regarding anything, please feel free to ask questions. I think they will be providing you all a link, and you can post all your questions on that link. So as it is said that inquisitiveness is a sign of intelligence. So I need an intelligent audience who are very actively listening and participating. So with this, we'll start our discussion on the topic discover yourself. So uh, before starting the session, I want to ask you one question. You might find this question a bit silly, but still it is, at least I find it very important question. So my question is, why are you attending this session? I hope everyone got the question. Why are you attending this question, this session? Why you came? Why you took out your time, and why are you attending this session? Please write in the chat box. Please write frankly. You can write anything, even if you write that you are attending for certification. That's okay with me. But I want your responses. You can write anything. Why you want to attend this session, and why are you attending it here? You are taking out so much time and attending here this session. Quick. I thought till now I would have got. I will be getting a lot of responses. Very good. So, but Ayush is writing to learn something and develop my personality. Tanmay Shah is writing because I hope to gain some knowledge about personality development. Very good. For helping me in developing me. Okay. What about others? To gain knowledge and certificate. So this is very honest what Abhishek has written to gain knowledge as well as certificate. So very true. But ठीक है, you want to get knowledge and you want to get certificate. But what after that? Why you want to get knowledge? Why you want to get certificate? Why you want to have a good personality? Okay, I'll generalize my question. I want answer from you regarding this question that why do we do anything that we do? मतलब आप जो भी करते हो लाइफ में, you have worked so hard to get admission into this engineering college, and you like I remember like बचपन में, at least to me it used to happen that my parents used to say कि बस ये फिफ्थ स्टैंडर्ड पास कर ले, उसके बाद फिर लाइफ में मजे ही मजे हैं. मजे तो तू बाद में भी कर सकता है, राइट? आफ्टर दैट ड्यूरिंग 10th क्लास, माय पेरेंट्स यूज्ड टू से कि बस ये बोर्ड निकाल ले, उसके बाद तो मजे तो मतलब मजे में तो तू कभी भी कर सकता है, अभी बस पढ़ाई कर ले, बोर्ड्स निकाल ले. सेम थिंग हैपेंड विद 12th, सेम थिंग हैपेंड विद preparing for engineering college. So why we do whatever we want to do to achieve our ultimate destiny? So that's what I'm asking, what is our ultimate destiny? What is that good future? You all are giving very right answers, but I want some one specific word, which is the key word. Why we want money? So why we want to get money? Money से क्या होगा? Very good. So big round of applause for Samay, Sonjay, and Rishabh Khandelwal. They have actually hit the bullseye that whatever we want. See, same thing with Devesh also. So whatever we do in our life, we do it for happiness, right? Whatever we do. And happiness as well as satisfaction, as I think Yagesh, nahi, who had said better lifestyle satisfaction, someone had said. Yeah, Devesh Patil has said satisfaction. So very good. So if we summarize in one word, then whatever we do it to get happiness. So what is everyone searching for? As you all very rightly mentioned, we all are searching for this one word, that is happiness in life, right? So now next question is, yes, so how do we, like, what all ways we try to find happiness in? So can you kindly contribute your thoughts? As I had already said, I want all of your very active uh, participation in the discussion, that what all people do in general to get happiness. What all you see around us, around you, people doing to get happiness. Some of you said certificate, like you are attending this course for getting knowledge, certification, a better lifestyle. So that is also a few answers to have comfort. Yeah. So why, how all we want to get happiness? By spending time with family, do whatever we want in life. You all are giving very hi-fi answers. Pursue hobbies, traveling. Very good. Complete our goals by doing what we love to do. Same as hobbies, watching TV, playing, achieving goals. Very good. Very nice. So, as you all mentioned, that everyone tries to find happiness by various means. Like in our babyhood, when we were small babies, we used to get happiness by games and what we would call them, toys, right? Toys, balloons, then cycles, bicycle, tricycle, sports. At some of you mentioned sports, games, online games, then having some relationships and money, right? And having spending time with family, as who had mentioned. Uh, yeah, so Yagesh had mentioned that's by spending time with family. So this is all what we do to get happiness. Even apart from all what you said, we try to have different fashions. Even nowadays, people try so many weird fashions, as you can see in these photos, right? Daredevil acts. You can see this, this hankering for happiness, this hankering for thrill is so innate in us that people are ready to risk their life to get happiness, right? Like many people, they perform so many daredevil acts, like they will jump with a parachute from an aeroplane, even at a risk of falling down, and they're crashing down instead and losing their life. But still, this search for happiness is so strong that people are ready to risk their lives for that. People do so many stunts, sports, right? Then yeah, many people, they indulge in various intoxications, intoxicating habits, parties. So in short, if we have to summarize this whole, whatever you mentioned and whatever we saw in the slides, that what all we do for gaining happiness, we can summarize it in 4 words. Okay, we will not beat around the bush, we will come to the point. These are the 4 words which summarize all our pursuits for happiness. So first one is eating, eating rather tasting various different things. Second way is sleeping, right? It might be the favorite way of gaining happiness for many of us, sleeping for long hours. Mating, rather than mating, I would call it trying to enjoy, like many of you said, parties and going out and all, like basically trying to enjoy our senses. And then defending, right? Uh, like sometimes what happens, like we see some small ant or some very small insect, we may find ki अरे क्या है, मतलब it is having such a pathetic life, this small creature is living in some abominable place. But if you just try to disturb its path, it will also try to defend itself, right? So every one of us, we have this innate tendency in us to defend ourselves. So basically, now also we can see that so much technology is being built for defense, right? A very big portion of the big portion of the budget, our government budget, goes in defense. So basically, we try to achieve happiness by improving the facilities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Okay. But if you think deeply, we humans and animals both try to get happiness by these four things, right? Even animals also, they also have friends, they also have fun, they also have family. So in short, they also enjoy eating, they also enjoy sleeping, they also enjoy mating and trying to enjoy in different ways, and they also feel the need to defend themselves. So any inquisitive person will definitely think कि अगर मैं मतलब if like very we are very many times very proud of being a human being, that I am human being, I'm not an animal. If someone calls me an animal, suppose someone calls me that you are just like a dog, you are just like a uh, what we say, you are just like, you are just sleeping like a, what we call that, uh, bhalu, right? I'm not remembering the English name of bhalu. Then we might many times we feel offended that why is he comparing me to animals. So we have this superiority that I am better than animals. But if we analyze, if we think deeply, we also eat, we also find happiness in eating, animals also find happiness in eating, same with all the three others also. So in what way we are superior to animals, or rather, are we in any way superior to animals, or we are just like animals? So as we just now discussed, that eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are common in both humans and animals. So, are we in any way superior to animals? What do you think? What do you think? Are we in any way superior to animals, or we are just like some other animals only? Please share your opinions. Okay, superior. Very good. What about others? They are still thinking. Quick, quick. Are we in any way superior to animals, or we are just like some other animals only? Okay, so most of you are saying that we are superior. Then how we are superior? What is the difference between humans and animals? So as some of you very nicely mentioned that humans are intelligent and animals don't have intelligence. So, okay, but is it really like that? Let's see. There is a very interesting activity for all of us. So what is the specialty of this eagle? Whenever you see this image of eagle, immediately what do you remember? What is the special skill of this eagle? Accuracy, very good. So many times we say this, we use this term telescopic vision. So this eagle has very strong vision. What about horse? What is a horse known for? Speed, very good. Dog, loyal, good quality. See, I'm asking about skill, ability. Very good, smelling sense. Yeah, loyalty, braveness, that is also very true. And but apart from that, especially a dog has the skill of that it can smell very strongly. Sniffing, we call that sniffing. What about elephant? Power. Very good. See, once I was seeing this video, like this, there was one elephant who was able to topple an entire, what we call that, jeep, right? Many times we try to push the jeep and we are unable to even push the jeep. But animal bites soon, what we call a trunk. It can even topple a jeep. So that much power it has. What about Bhalu? Okay, now I got the name bear. So what about bear? Sleeping. Very good. What about koel or nightingale? Smell. Yeah, voice. So it has a very beautiful, sweet voice. So as we can see here, that all the animals, they have some or the other specialty. So what are humans special for? Humans are special for intelligence, as you all very rightly mentioned. But does this mean that animals are not intelligent? I'll tell you one very graphic example. Like we have our building here in which I stay, and there is, of course, a terrace. And many times that some birds, they have made a nest in that tree. कुछ चिड़िया हैं, I think they are crows. Crows have made a very nice nest, घोंसला, in that tree. And I was like wonderstruck कि even there is a big storm, there is big rain, आंधी तूफान कुछ भी आए, that whole tree used to get shaken up, but nothing used to happen to that nest. एक उसका एक तिनका भी नीचे नहीं गिरता था. That's how strongly that nest was made, right? So how can we say that animals don't have intelligence? Animals also have a lot of intelligence. Even some. So animals do have intelligence, and we also have intelligence. So then what is the difference? If animals also have intelligence, we also have intelligence, then what is the difference between us and animals? Okay, so some are expressing that they are, but they can't express. Humans can express their intelligence. Okay, thinking ability. So thinking ability is same as intelligence. See all these animals in this slide, they are looking at you. You are calling us unintelligent. Okay, very good point. Saurabh has contributed. Understanding speed. So that means analytical power we have more. But actually, friends, like sorry to say, but even animals also have a lot of intelligence, and they also have a lot of speed also. Many times even better than humans. So let's see what is the difference between intelligence of animals and intelligence of humans. Okay, Abhishek has contributed a very intelligent point that they are superior in their own domain. So we will discuss this point which Abhishek has contributed, that they are superior in their own domain. So what is their domain? That we'll discuss now. Okay, this point also I was expecting, but okay, this point also I was expecting that you would say, but none of you said this point. So I will only say that, and I will only defeat this point, that human beings have advanced technology whereas animals don't, right? We don't see animals making big skyscrapers or bullet trains, right? They have simple, their nails, and someplace they will lie down. So they don't have advanced technology, whereas animals, whereas humans beings do. But what is this advanced technology doing with us, right? Okay, we say that now we are more advanced. अभी पुराने जमाने के जो लोग थे, वो लोग चल के जाते थे, हम लोग उड़ के जाते हैं. We go by space, sorry, not spacecraft. We go by aeroplane, right? Earlier, people used to send kabutar with their message, or they used to send telegram. Now we have an app called as Telegram, or we send our message very fast via WhatsApp, right? So we are more advanced than people in the older ages, like bygone ages, but we are more advanced. But I want some inputs from you. What do you feel? Are we really going in positive? See, advancing is a good thing, but are we advancing in proper direction? What do you feel? Are we advancing properly? Are we advancing in proper direction? No, right? So I won't say no, but rather it would be better that yes and no, right? As someone of you mentioned that ease of living has increased. So many good things are also happening because of technological advancement, and many bad things are also happening. But the unfortunate thing is that the the damages that are happening with the society, the negative impacts that are increasing in the society, they are more serious. We'll see just now how. Yeah, so modern day people are more dissatisfied, more full of anxiety, stressed, depressed, and above all, unhappy, right? Like, can any of you tell me what is the Sanskrit Sanskrit meaning of the word divorce? Many times we use this word divorce. So divorce का संस्कृत में meaning, संस्कृत में word क्या है? Any of you knows? What is the meaning of divorce in Sanskrit? Anyone? Anyone who is expert in Sanskrit can tell me what is the, if you are unable to remember, then you can just write don't know. Please respond some way or the other, even if you don't know the answer. Ghataspot, vivid. It's Arabic word. Yeah, correct. So before you spend a lot of your time in taxing your brains, I will only disclose that actually, friends, there is no Sanskrit word for this. There is no Sanskrit meaning of this word called as divorce. Many times we use this word talak, right? But this talak is an Urdu word. It is not a Sanskrit word. I'll tell you one very short story of Mahatma Gandhi and his wife. Once what happened, Mahatma Gandhi became very angry with his wife. It might be shocking for you to hear that Mahatma Gandhi also used to become angry, but it happened once. And I don't know whether it is true story or what, but still I just heard it, so I'm sharing that he once got very angry with his wife. And then he immediately told in the spur of moment that you get out from this house. And then his wife, then she started crying and sobbing, and then she took all her luggage, and then she went out of the house. But then out after going out, she could not think, where should I go, right? Like, she can't go back to her parents house, she can't go anywhere else. So she just sat at the doorstep only of the house. And then after, and she sat there only for hours and hours together. And then later, when Mahatma Gandhi came out, he was less, like, his anger was a bit subsided. He came out, he saw his wife that, you are still here. So she said, where else can I go? So then it just melted his heart. And then he told him, okay, come in. So like that was our culture. But now just thoda sa husband wife mein jama nahi, then immediately they get divorced. So that's how our society is changing nowadays. At least I won't call that as advancement, right? So, advancement without knowing the ultimate aim of life leads to sophisticated animal civilization. So, this is not just what I'm saying. We have some very nice data, and we'll let the data only speak. So, these are few examples of the things which are increasing so much in nowadays society. Terrorism, wars, public unrest, they are steadily increasing every year. So as per the statistics, between 2001 and 2013, guns killed more people in the US than AIDS, illegal drug overdose, wars, and terrorism combined. If we combine the entire data of people getting killed by AIDS, drug overdoses, wars, and terrorism, guns, people killed by guns, it will, what we say, it will overshadow the data of all these other factors. And this is about licensed personal guns. You might already be knowing that in America, it is very easy to get license for guns. It is very easy. Average number of reported rape cases in India in last 3 years, it's 1,25,000 per year. Just imagine, 1,25,000 per year. Every 15 minutes, as per the data, there is a rape in India every 15 minutes, as per the government data, which was taken. See, you can see here, this data is not very like past. This data has been taken on January 15, 2020. So it is just last year. Before even finishing school, an average child watches 100,000 or 1 lakh acts of violence, 8,000 murders. So this is what our society is advancing towards. This is about drugs, right? Like even according to the World Drug Report of 2019, which is just 2 years past, 35 million people worldwide suffer from drug use disorder. Global divorce rate, as I said, it is just keeping on increasing and increasing year by year. Average number of suicides in India every year, that is 1,35,000. So can anyone tell how many suicides like some of you can apply your mathematical brain, and can you tell how like in 1 hour how many students might be committing suicide as per this data? If 1,35,000 in 1 year, then how many in 1 hour? Or rather, 1 day, you can tell me 1 day. In 1 day, how many might be committing suicide on an average? Quick, quick. Where are all the mathematicians? 369, 370. Very good, very good. So on an average, if we, yeah, right. So 370, 369 per day. So this is the data. This is from USA. So are we really advancing in the right direction? Surely we are advancing, but are we advancing in the right direction? That is the question to be asked. And most important part, what is the root cause of these increasing problems in the world? So we get the answer in our, okay, before that, see friends, we just now discussed that we all are superior to animals, right? Because we have intelligence and we have advanced technology. But if we see that animals, they never have demonstrations. ऐसा कभी देखा है क्या, like बहुत सारे ऐसे कुत्ते सब आपस में आके ऐसा ग्रुप बना रहे हैं और वो आपस में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि ये जो लीडर है इसको हम ओवरथ्रो कर देंगे इसको. It never happens like that. No suicides. We never see any animal committing suicide. Only humans do that. Animals never have heartbreaks. Animals never take any drugs unless you forcefully give them. Even like I have heard that there is this ganja, charas and all these drugs के जो खेती होती है ना, there they don't need much fencing. मतलब जैसे अभी फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे गेहूं गेहूं राइस वगैरह, मैंने अपने जो जो भी क्रॉप्स हैं उनकी जो खेती होती है उसके अराउंड लोग फेंसिंग लगाते हैं. क्यों लगाते हैं फेंसिंग? टू प्रोटेक्ट देम फ्रॉम एनिमल्स, obviously. Very simple answer. But many times these people who cultivate ganja, charas and all these drugs, they never put any, they don't need to put any fence around that. Why? Anyone can guess why they need not put any fence around the crops of these drugs? There is a very funny answer for that. Very simple and funny answer. Yeah, very good. So Samay has got it right. Animals don't consume it. So it's so funny. Animals never consume these drugs. These are so bad that even animals don't want to consume that. But we are so intelligent, we want to consume that. And animals never do terrorism, right? See, friends, I would like to beg apology from all of you. If suppose my video is a bit dark, or you might find some perspiration, because in my area the power has got cut, so that's why there is a bit dark. But as soon as it comes, then the video will be a more bright. So please bear with it for some time. Yeah. So what makes the question remains still there? What makes human beings superior to animals? इतना हमने पूरा brainstorming किया, but still we have not got answer to that beginning question. What makes human beings superior to animals? Now we'll get this most awaited answer. And this answer is provided by our very famous scripture, that is Mahabharata. See, someone is writing that technology, but just now we discussed that technology, okay, it is differentiating us from animals, but is it making us anyway better than animals? We just now discussed that as the technology is increasing with the time, we are seeing that so many problems in the society are also increasing, right? So many problems are increasing, and because of this technological advancement, the overall culture is changing, the overall society is changing, that we are doing those things that even animals don't do, right? So uh, now coming to our final answer to this question. Okay, so Shreyansh has contributed a very good point, that yes, if used in proper way, otherwise no. So very good, we are going to discuss that only, that point only. So this is from Mahabharat, very famous scripture. So I would like, and okay, I think you don't have right to unmute yourself. So I would like to request coordinator that when I speak this verse, coordinators can repeat after me.
Yes.
Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha
Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha
samanyame tat pashubhir naranam
samanyametat pashubhe naranam
dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho
dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho
धर्मेण हीना पशुभिः समानः.
dharme nahina pashubhi samanaha.
Can you kindly read this? What is the translation?
Yes. The activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are common in animals and human beings. The human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about God and perform the dharma of obeying His laws, loving and serving Him. Otherwise, they are considered just like animals.
Thank you, Aditya. Yeah. So, anyone can say what they learned from this translation? What this verse, how this verse gives us, how this shloka from Mahabharata gives us our answer. What is that thing which differentiates us from animals? Let's see who can find out the. Okay, so Sama is writing spiritualism. What about others? Let's see who can find the treasure that is there in this shloka. You can even write in like the Sanskrit word. And if, see, friends, as I already mentioned, that it is possible that you might not agree with all the points which are there in this PPT, right? So my request is to all of you that you don't just accept whatever I'm speaking. You challenge it in your mind. Whatever I'm speaking, you challenge it, and you ask questions on that Google form. I think this link has been posted by the coordinators. They can keep on posting it from time to time. That it is my humble request to all of you that challenge my points. Whatever I'm speaking, you write uh, in that link, whatever questions you have, and we'll take
Everyone
on all
can
those questions.
everyone can ask any questions they have on the link which I've been sending after every 10 minutes. So if you have any questions at all, it will be answered by sir in the end of the session, which will be taking the best questions and it will be answered by sir. So please, you're requested to kindly post the questions there itself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so now I've got some answers. Devotion, humanity, and spirituality. God, dharma, humanity. Very good, very good. So, as you all very rightly mentioned, that dharma is the thing which differentiates us from animals. So, what is this dharma? Right, dharma word. What do you understand by dharma? Many of you mentioned dharma. So, इसका meaning क्या होता है? Are these dharma, or what do you understand by word dharma? Kartavya. Dharma. We hear this word a lot in our day-to-day life. So what is the meaning of this? See, friends, it's not that you have to uh, say right answer only. I want your opinions. You can say whatever you want to say. Righteousness, very good. It is a way of living. So a way of living even animals also have. So what is this dharma? How it differentiates us from life, from animals? Very good. Rules for life, rules, righteousness. Very good. So this word dharma, it is actually very broad topic, but please hear very carefully. Dharma word doesn't mean religion. I'm very grateful to all of you that none of you said religion. Okay, very good. That you all are very open-minded people. So dharma doesn't mean religion. Okay, it means something more deeper. Okay, people may change from Hindu to Muslim, Muslim to Hindu, Hindu to Christian, anything they can change to. But that doesn't change their dharma. This dharma word, it actually comes from this dhatu of dhrita. In Sanskrit, there is this dhatu called as dhrita. And from dhrita, the word comes dharma. So dharma actually means, we'll discuss more in our further programs also, but in just one sentence, I would like to mention that dharma actually means our that thing which cannot be separated from us. That thing which cannot be separated from us. That is called as dharma. So it is a very broad concept we'll discuss, but at least surely it doesn't mean religion, because religion means faith. Shraddha and religion, that means faith. Dharma is something more deeper. So how this dharma differentiates us from animals, we'll see now. So animals can inquire only about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending or fearing. But humans, they can inquire about higher principles, right? They can inquire about life, death, what is beyond life, what is beyond death, why are we in this universe, why this universe came up in the first place only, right? Why am I suffering? If I want to enjoy always, why am I suffering? So these things only humans can inquire. So human beings have higher intelligence to inquire about higher things in life, right? Like we see many of the scientists, many of the physicists, they keep on inquiring that why it is like this, why that is like that, why this universe is functioning the way it is. So that is higher inquiry, right? We can make choices. So first aspect, what I told, that human beings can inquire about life, death, and beyond. And second aspect, which is very important, that they can make right choices in life. Some of you said that dharma means to abide by some rules, or humans are different from animals because they can follow some regulation, they can follow some rules and regulations in life. So that is meant by making right choice in life. Simple example, now I am giving this PDW session to all of you, and someone is giving STW session, and all of you are attending this, all of you are able to understand this, Why are we not inviting some animals in this session? Why are we not inviting some dogs or cats? Why are we not sending this WhatsApp link to some dogs and cats groups? Why are we sending to you? Because you are humans, because you have ability to inquire about higher things, right? So that's why we have got this human form, we have got this human body. We should not just waste this in just eating, sleeping, mating, defending. See, again, I'm saying it is not that we don't have to do eating, sleeping, mating, defending. We definitely have to do. Without with these, we cannot live only. But my point is that our life should not be just limited to this, how I can eat better, how I can sleep better. That is not the like very ultimate goal of human life. Human life, we have got this intelligence to make some higher inquiries about life, death, and beyond, and how to make right choices in life. So I hope you are getting my point. So how to make right choices in life? So here we see that there are some divine qualities in us and there are some demoniac qualities. So right choices, making right choices means to nourish our divine qualities and to what we can say, starve our demoniac qualities. So can you all please tell what do you mean by divine qualities? Can you give some examples of some divine qualities? What do you feel? Some divine qualities. According to you, what are divine qualities? Discipline, very good. Quick, you have to just write one word. It shouldn't take much time. Thinking about others first. So that is in one word called empathy. So Prathamesh has very rightly mentioned divine quality. One of the divine qualities, empathy. Tanmay is writing forgiveness, kindness. Very good. Helping, very good. Humanity. Shreyansh is again, I think someone or Shreyansh only is again and again writing humanity, humanity, humanity. So it is right only, but I think he is very much inspired by being human, that slogan. Courage, loving heart, very good. What about bad qualities? What do you think are bad qualities? Not getting angry, very good. So what are some bad qualities which you feel? We can even we can even say that opposites of all these qualities which I have mentioned. Karma. How is karma a bad quality? I'm not getting. Okay, so jealousy, necrotism, very good. I'm very happy that I have got such a thoughtful crowd. You all are giving very amazing answers. Selfishness, very good. Impatience, yeah, very mature answer. Envy, very good. So, as you all rightly mentioned, that there are some good qualities, some bad qualities. We can even call them positive thinking, negative thinking. So now we'll see what are good qualities, or we can even say good types of thoughts. So positive type of thoughts are, as you all mentioned, joy, love, hope, mercy, peace, honesty, harmony, as you said, helping others, tolerance, enthusiasm, understanding. So these all are positive thoughts. Negative thoughts, anger, stress, egoism, racism, laziness, revenge, carelessness, criticism, jealousy, attachment. So, can any one of you tell, like, what do you see from this image? You can see in the positive type of thought, there is a person who is smiling. And in the negative type of thought, there is a person who is holding his head like this. So, what is the quality he is demonstrating by that expression? What do you, what quality can you see from that expression? See, many times this quality, na, like this is a kind of side topic, but many times when we go for some interviews or SSB interview, many types of interviews, they have this test called as picture perception. So in that test, what they do, they give you a picture and they tell you to analyze that picture, and then they ask questions based on that those pictures. So this is a very important ability that we should have, picture perception. We should be able to derive the mood and whatever we can understand thoughts from those pictures. So I'm testing your picture perception ability. So from this image like this, he's doing like that. Second image. What is the kind of thought that he's expressing? Okay, frustration, unhappy, okay, joy. How it requires really a deep thinking to categorize that as joy, stressed, depressed. Okay, very good. So these are two types: positive thoughts, negative thoughts. Third kind of thought is necessary, or we can call it routine thought. And finally, waste thought means lamenting about past, worrying about future. मेरा क्या होगा? 4 साल के बाद मेरे को डिग्री मिलेगी कि नहीं मिलेगी? Of course, none of you will think like that. You all are very nicely well educated, but just for giving example. So these are the four kind of thoughts. See, this particular slide is very important. You all, if you want, you all can take a snapshot of it also, that we can just imagine, we can just analyze ourselves कि अभी मेरे अंदर ये thought आ रहा है, that means I'm in this category right now. अभी ये thought आ रहा है, so I'm now in this category. So it is very helpful for us to understand what kind of thoughts we are having. So this is a very important slide. So now my question to you is, okay, I won't ask such a simple question. So all of you might agree that we need to increase our positive thoughts. So that is one ability which humans have, which animals don't have. We can control our thoughts, right? We can increase our positive thoughts. We can reduce our negative thoughts. So we are able to do that. If you are trying to do that, then we will be called as humans. Okay. So positive thoughts bring us to a divine platform. How they bring us to divine platform? By increasing our mode of goodness. So anyone knows what is this goodness called in Sanskrit? There is this particular word for mode of goodness. Mode of goodness का एक particular word है संस्कृत में. Anyone knows? I don't think many of you might be knowing that, but still just checking in case anyone knows. What is the meaning of goodness in Sanskrit? Subhashwit. Okay, Subhashwit. That might be. Okay, without taking much of your time, I'll only tell. So this mode of goodness in Sanskrit, it is called as Sattva. Okay, Sattva Gun. In case anyone could not hear, I'm again repeating this mode of goodness in Sanskrit, it is called as Sattva Guna. So positive thought means increasing our Sattva Guna, Sattva. And how that Sattva Guna increases, how we can get positive thoughts. See, these 3 points are very important. This is the crux of the entire presentation, of the entire discussion. See, I'll just quickly summarize. We'll go into a flashback that initially we discussed why we do what we do. We do everything for happiness. Okay. Then we try to get happiness by different means. But then we thought, ki, theek hai, but even animals also find happiness in all those things. So what makes us superior to animals? Then we brainstormed about this fact that someone might say that technological advancements makes us advanced than animals, but then we saw that even technology advancement, it is also having many of the drawbacks, because we saw that as the time is going ahead, as the technological advancement is increasing, parallelly the problems in life, problems in society are also increasing. Okay. Then we came back to that earlier question, that what is that thing that's differentiate us from animals? Then we finally came to the conclusion that the thing that differentiates us is our ability to inquire about higher things in life and to align our life properly by taking right choices. So that is the thing which separates us from animals. And how to align our lives properly? By getting positive thoughts, by increasing our positive thoughts, we will become more and more happy. So there are two parts: by increasing our, by taking right choices, and by inquiring about higher things in life, about nature, about universe. Now we come to this point, we now come to this junction that, okay, now we understood that we need to cultivate positive thoughts to be happy. But how to cultivate positive thoughts? The answer is by being in sattva, by increasing our mode of goodness. And how to do that practically? So the answer that we get is by studying the Vedic wisdom, by being compassionate to others. And this you might find a bit like intriguing, that waking up early in the morning. Many of you might not like this third point, but really it very much helps us. All these 3 points they really very much help us in bringing us to this platform of sattva. And when we are on this platform of sattva, then we will get positive thoughts. So now we'll see quickly how these three things bring us to the platform of sattva. We have very interesting videos lined up for all of you to demonstrate how these three things lead us to sattva. So first of all, study of Vedic wisdom. So we'll, okay, before that, many of us might feel कि Vedic wisdom ये क्या, ये तो बाबा आदम के जमाने की बुक्स किसी ने लिख दी, और जिनको कुछ आता जाता है नहीं वो लोग ये वैदिक वेदास वगैरह पढ़ के कुछ तो बकते रहते हैं. Many of us might feel like that. But actually, as the time is going ahead, scientists and, like, it is very ironical to say that Western people, these see this Vedic wisdom belongs to us. They belong to us Indians. But it is very unfortunate to say that we Indians are not appreciating this Vedic wisdom. We feel कि ये कुछ तो faith है, कोई तो पुराने जमाने के लोग पढ़ते थे, हमें क्या करना है उससे, right? But now these people in America, Europe, they are taking our scriptures, they are analyzing them, and they are uh, coming up with new and new technologies, new and new concepts based on our scriptures, which we have neglected, right? Can any one of you tell, like, you all might be aware that what all recent advancements that are happening based on our scriptures. So in short, I'm asking, any one of you knows how our scriptures are being used by scientists, by Western people to advance in science? I'll give one simple example, like this Sanskrit language. We never pay any importance to Sanskrit language. But nowadays, big supercomputers, big technology, like big supercomputers, basically, they are using Sanskrit as their programming language. Right? Very interesting fact that Sanskrit they are using for their uh, this programming language. So like that, I'm asking some examples which you might be knowing, which you can share, that where all our own scriptures are being used in modern days by people of Western countries. Anyone knows any other examples? Very good point. Yoga. I was only going to say that yoga. Ayurveda, very good. Actually, nowadays people have this term called as naturopathy. क्या है naturopathy? It is Ayurveda only. अपना जो आयुर्वेदा है उसको लेके उसको कुछ तो अच्छा सा पैकेजिंग करके naturopathy का, and they are now using that term. So like that, cow dung, cow products now they have patented this cow dung, and even tulsi also. We used to feel क्या गाय वगैरह क्या है, we never used to pay any importance, but now people in Western countries they are understanding their importance. So our Vedic wisdom is not some faith, they are very scientific actually. So these are some very nice examples: Vastu Shastra, Feng Shui, which is also, Feng Shui is also a parallel of this Vastu Shastra, Ayurveda, cow products, Vedic cosmography, astronomy, which is very precise actually. And you would be shell shocked to hear that many of the modern theories, like string theory, you might be aware of string theory, many of the concepts of quantum mechanics, they are very much inspired by our scriptures, which is mentioned in our scriptures. So our scriptures are very profound, actually, very scientific. So this was the first point, that by reading our Vedic scriptures. So this is one very interesting video. You all might be aware of this personality, this very great personality. He is the Metro Man, Sridharan, E. Sridharan. So we'll see this video. And my request to coordinator is that they can kindly write in the chat box, or they can inform me in case whether the video and audio is okay or not. So they can communicate to me.
Delhi. The Central Road Research Institute has estimated that by carrying 22 lakh persons by metro, Delhi Metro has saved at least 200 lives being lost on the roads every year.
That's very heartening.
Yes,
That's really
yes,
very
yes,
heartening. It's
yes.
one of the human stories that come out of something like this. What was a day in your life like when you were working on the metro?
Well, normal thing, I used to get up at 4:30.
4:30. Who gets up at 4:30?
In Delhi, I used to wake up at 4:30. Nowadays, I wake up at 4 o'clock in Kerala.
That's the secret of all efficiency, I tell you.
4:30 I get up, then I do the normal routines and then do some pranayam. Then I read Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam for about 45 minutes
Every day.
every day. Religiously, whenever I am at headquarters. Because when I am on tour or traveling, it's not possible.
Yeah.
Then afterwards we have our, I do some yoga.
My God.
I do yoga about 45 minutes, have my breakfast, and leave for the office early. I'm one of the first to reach the office.
Yeah, the
Well
reverse clock.
before-
The reverse clock is running in your head 24/7. I see. But I've also heard that you also never carry files at home, and nobody can call you unless it's an emergency, which is like the best way to do things. Is that right, or is that a rumor?
No, it's true. I don't carry work home if I could manage it. Because I always felt that at home, I must have the time privately for myself and my family. Unless there's an emergency, I don't encourage people to contact me also over phone.
Wow. This is nothing
But-
short of a perfect life.
But then in the office, we are very busy. Everything is done in the office.
Yes.
So 9 to 5:30, we manage to complete all the works within that time.
I was reading about you, and it said that you've been transferred about 25 times. And I think the wisdom of the Gita, somewhere you said, had kept you grounded. Is that correct?
Well, to be precise, in my first 15 years of service on the Indian Railways, I got 25 transfers.
How is that possible?
So somehow it happened like that.
Okay.
Some of it is, I would say, planned for my future career, because they wanted me to expose to
To
various
different-
aspects of railway working. That is one way. The other was because I was handy available as a bachelor. I can be shunted anywhere. That was another reason, perhaps.
So you saw a lot of the country.
Yes, but that really helped me quite a lot. And it also helped me to evolve a philosophy that one should not take transfers as a punishment.
So you actually converted the punishment into a possibility to understand and explore a little more.
I won't call it a punishment. I would say it's an opportunity given.
What is it about the Gita that inspires you so much that you read the Bhagavatam every single day?
It gives practical tips how to solve the day-to-day problems of life. And that is what is required. In any professional life, there are so many problems coming up, and Gita helps you how to tackle these problems.
That's going to inspire a lot of people out there to go and read the Gita if they haven't really.
I think it is required.
Do you recall anything offhand that you read in the Gita that you still live with today?
There is one sloga in Gita which is very, very appropriate and necessary for every doer, everybody. Mukta Sango Anaham Vadi Dhrityutsaha Samanvitaha Siddhi Asiddhyo Nirvikara Sakarta Satvika Uchyade.
So if this was translated from Sanskrit to English, what would it say?
It only means whenever you do a work, you should not be bothered about the fruits of that work. I mean, you should not expect any gain out of the work for yourself. Then you should do it in such a way with full dedication and full enthusiasm. And you should not be dismayed by the good results or the bad results. A man who views his work in that fashion is a virtuous doer. It means that.
And that's what you embodied for yourself as well.
That is what I practice.
Ethics in
Okay, so nice video, right? Can anyone of you kindly tell what all could you understand from this video? Any points, any kind of take home points from this video? What kind of take home message you can take for yourself from this video? Very good. Got positivity, waking up early. Early means how, at what time you used to get up? 4. Many of us sleep at that time, right? Not 9, 4 a.m. Yeah. So many of us sleep at 4 a.m., but he gets up. And that actually, as the report, as the interviewer is asking, that is mentioning that it really increases our positive mentality, positive thought, and our thinking ability. So very good. And also he mentioned about Bhagavad Gita. Very good. Importance of Vedic books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. That has helped so much in his life. We'll see.
Exactly.
Just a minute. We'll see another very interesting video. So these are some points: waking up early morning, reading scripture, literature, and very important, keeping work-life balance. That is also very important. Now, next is also a very interesting video. Why do we need to go back to Vedic knowledge? Kyun janega? Let's see.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Vivek Bindra. Hey, welcome back. I'm Vivek Bindra. I'm a motivational speaker, leadership consultant, business
Is the audio and video clear?
Yes, sir. It's perfectly clear and it's audible as well.
कोच। आप पहले भी मेरा एक वीडियो देख चुके हैं भगवत गीता के ऊपर। मैं चाहता हूं इस बार मोक्षदा एकादशी पे, यानी कि गीता जयंती 5200 साल पहले आज ही के दिन कुरुक्षेत्र की युद्ध भूमि में कृष्ण ने यह प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग मैनुअल अर्जुन को दिया था। यह एक ऐसा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग मैनुअल है जिसमें आपका पारिवारिक जीवन, आपका सामाजिक जीवन, आपका शारीरिक जीवन, आपका आध्यात्मिक जीवन, आपका आर्थिक जीवन, व्यापारिक जीवन, भौतिक, बौद्धिक, मानसिक, सात्विक, हर प्रकार के जीवन के जो भी प्रश्न है उनके उत्तर कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को इन 700 श्लोकों में दे दिए हैं। मुझे पता है कुछ लोग मुझसे नाराज होने वाले हैं कि नहीं है। वो कहते हैं कि विवेक बिंद्रा हिंदुइज्म को प्रमोट कर रहा है। ध्यान दीजिए, 700 श्लोक में अगर एक जगह भी आपने मुझे दिखा दिया गीता में कृष्ण ने हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख ईसाई की चर्चा करी है, मैं मान जाऊंगा। गीता में कृष्ण ने जो मैनेजमेंट के कॉन्सेप्ट पूरी दुनिया में है वो ऑलरेडी कृष्ण बता चुके हैं 5000 साल पहले। संशय आत्मा विनश्यति, बिलीफ सिस्टम के बारे में कृष्ण कहते हैं जिसका संशय है ना, जिसका बिलीफ स्ट्रांग नहीं है, विनश्यति, उसका विनाश होना निश्चित है। यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम त्यज्यत अन्ते कलेवरम, जैसा जैसा तेरा स्मरण भाव होएगा तू वैसा वैसा बनता जाएगा। देखिए ध्यान दीजिएगा, लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन को लेके इनफैक्ट डॉक्टर स्टीफन कॉवी 7 हैबिट्स ऑफ हाईली इफेक्टिव पीपल पूरी दुनिया पब्लिक में बोलते रहे मैंने 7 हैबिट्स भगवत गीता से ली हैं। लेकिन हिंदुस्तानियों की समस्या क्या है, वो 2 मिलियन किताबें स्टीफन कॉवी की पढ़ ली लेकिन भगवत गीता नहीं पढ़ेंगे, विदेशियों की किताब पढ़ेंगे। लोग पूछते हैं भगवत गीता पढ़ने का फायदा क्या है, फायदा होगा तो पढ़ेंगे ना। ध्यान दीजिए, प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की आवश्यकता नहीं। आपको जान की खुशी होगी आज हमारे को थिंक टैंक ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट एशिया का अवार्ड वर्ल्ड लीडरशिप फेडरेशन ने दिया। आज हमें वर्ल्ड एचआरडी कांग्रेस ने बेस्ट लीडरशिप ट्रेनर इन एशिया का अवार्ड दिया। टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया ने बेस्ट सीईओ कोच इन इंडिया का अवार्ड दिया। प्राइस वाटर हाउस कूपर ने रिव्यू करके हमें रिकॉग्नाइज किया इंडिया ग्रेटेस्ट ब्रांड एंड लीडर्स के अवार्ड के साथ। आज हमारा मोस्ट सब्सक्राइब्ड एंटरप्रेन्योरियल यूट्यूब चैनल बन गया इस पृथ्वी पे। जो भी कुछ है ये सब मेरे कारण नहीं है, मैं तो चोर हूं। मैंने तो भगवत गीता का कंटेंट चोरी किया और आप सबको दिया, आपको लाभ हो रहा है। अगर मुझको आपको लाभ हो रहा है तो सब गीता के कारण ही तो है।
Amazing video, right? You can also see his other videos on YouTube. He's a very famous personality, Dr. Vivek Bindra. Yeah, so moving ahead.
Hey, welcome back. I'm
Just a
Vivek
minute.
Bindra.
Yeah. So if in a nutshell, if we discuss the whole thing, that human beings are superior to animals because we can make right choice to get higher understanding of life beyond just eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And we can ask deeper questions about life, and most importantly we can understand happiness that is beyond birth and death. So this is what differentiates us from animals, and this is what will give us happiness actually. So how to do all these things practically, we will discuss in our whole set of 5 sessions, which we called as 5S formula. This whole series of 5 sessions will be called as 5S formula, where we will step by step enter into this concept of mode of goodness. Okay. And which will help us cultivate positive thoughts. Okay. So just now, this was just a synopsis of the entire way how to get positivity and happiness in life, but how to get it practically, actually, we will discuss in our 5S formula. So what is this 5S formula? First S is who am I? Soul. So we want to be happy, but who are we? Before trying to become happy, we need to understand who are we? Who is that person who wants happiness? So we will scientifically try to understand who are we, whether we are soul, who are we? Like nowadays, there is so much research going on in consciousness. You all might have heard this very famous concept of very famous word, consciousness. So what is consciousness? What is reincarnation? Whether reincarnation happens or not? Atma kya hai? Bhoot kya hai? So all these very interesting questions that we get, we will try to discuss in this first S, that is soul. Who am I? So are we this body, perishable body, or are we soul? How, what is our relationship with this whole world? What is our relationship with mind, senses? What is mind? What is habits? All of this we will very analytically understand in this very interesting session, which is called as first S. Now second S is supreme. Okay. So uh, we are existing in this world, and how we are, what we can say, how we are in synchronization with this world, right? Just like we see in our Pune, or like wherever you are, we have a government, right? So if you follow the government, then naturally you will be happy and safe. But if you don't follow the government, if you don't know who is the traffic police, where is the traffic police, and if you just blindly do anything, whatever you want to do, definitely you will undergo various problems, right? If you don't obey the government. So what is that government, or is there at all a government in this universe? Who is that supreme? What is that supreme? So all this we will try to understand very scientifically in this very interesting session of second S, that is supreme. So just like we are the operator of this body, so is there some operator of the entire cosmic manifestation? We'll see that in this second S. As Einstein very nicely mentioned that, uh, coordinator, can you kindly read this, what Einstein says?
Yes, please. I believe in an intelligent designer. If I met God, I will ask how you create a universe.
Yeah. So we'll see very, many nice quotes like this of very famous scientists. Third S is scriptures. Just now we saw that how this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and different scriptures, they are so powerful and so helpful they can be in our life. But if we neglect them, we will lose them, and someone else might gain from them. So we will try to understand what how scriptures are practical in our life, and not just scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, but even we will derive lessons from Bible, Buddhist, Tripitaka. So various scriptures we'll analyze in that session. Fourth S is the solution part. That is practical Vedic solutions. How Vedic solutions are practical in our life. And finally, the fifth S. This is somewhat mysterious session. I won't describe what all is there in this session so that the mystery remains a mystery. So the fifth S, which is the most important session, which is the most important, it is the ultimate climax of the entire 5S formula, that is sound vibration. So my request to all of you is that please don't at all miss this 5S formula, and especially this fifth S, sound vibration. So can coordinator kindly read what George Harrison says?
Yes. Spiritual music is a way to go inside to your own temple and calm down your mind. According to research by David Brian Wolf, regular chanting of Mahamantra reduces the amount of stress and depression. It leads to an increase in the sattva, goodness quality of the person.
Yeah. So by following this 5S formula, we will come to the Sattva platform and we will get unending happiness. I assure all of you that if you nicely follow this 5S formula, you'll get ultimate happiness in life, and you can do whatever you want to do with that on that platform of Sattva, and that will give us real happiness. So this is the 5S formula, and we are extremely grateful to all of you for being with us. Okay, this is also remaining that what will we learn in this device course? So we will learn who am I, that is the first S. Does God exist? Second S. Secret of success. Finding true guide. Is there life after death? See, this phrase itself is so amazing, so mysterious. Life after death. Generally, we see life before death, but we will see, is there life after death also? Who is the supreme person? Can we get whatever we want in life? How to achieve unending happiness? How to make impossible into possible? Do we make destiny or destiny makes us? If God is one, then why so many religions? This is a very hot topic as per the current scenario. That if God is one, then why are there so many religions and so many conflicts between the religions? We'll see that. And most important question, which many people ask, why do bad things happen to good people? Okay, so these are few very nice questions which we will cover, and much more. So all your questions will be answered, and if on these questions and much more questions which you will ask, all of them will be answered. So this was all about the session. Now I would like to request our coordinators to kindly ask the questions which the intelligent queries that are being made by our members.
So, quite a treasure hunt for happiness, which is given by Snail sir, and quite congratulations to all the crowd. We got quite an interactive crowd right here. The inquisitiveness was quite astonishing for even for all of us. So I'll just tell Snail sir right now the questions that are being asked here, and it seems that we have very less questions. We were expecting a lot more. And please ask the questions related to the sessions itself. You can ask the general questions in the group, or you can personally DM the admins. So there are two good questions asked by Swaraj Anil Puri and Atharva Soleshwarkar. I'll just read it out with this question asked by Swaraj. What is good and bad? Why good and bad? Doesn't humans decide them? Something can be done in one time period and something not in another time period. So why should we worry about what is good and what is bad? So Snail sir, would you kindly enlighten us? This beautiful question asked by him.
Very, very interesting question, very thoughtful question. But first of all, how much time do we have left, Aditya? Can we go for 5 or 10 more minutes? 5 minutes, can we go ahead?
We can go for 5 minutes and we can start the
Okay.
PDW test for the students.
Okay, okay, fine. So actually this question which is asked by whom, which name you took?
Swaraj.
Swaraj, I think. Yeah,
Yes.
Swaraj. This is very interesting question, very thoughtful question, and it will need a very elaborate answer. But in just 5 minutes, which our coordinators have kindly allowed us, I would like to briefly mention what what it means by good and bad. So friends, good and bad, is it a subjective thing or is it an objective thing? This is the first thing which we need to understand, right? It may happen that's good for one, maybe bad for another person, right? But just like for everything, to understand what is the reality about everything, we need some frame of reference. Okay, we need some frame of reference. I'll give a simple example. Okay, like if suppose I say that the the electrons revolve around the, okay, if I say that nucleus revolves around the electrons, okay, nucleus revolves around electrons. So, and suppose Swaraj says that no, electrons revolve around nucleus. So what is right, whether nucleus revolves around electrons or electrons revolve around nucleus? Definitely electrons revolve around nucleus. So why, how can we know that electrons revolve around nucleus? How did we come to know that electrons revolve around nucleus? Anyone? कहाँ से पता चला कि इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, अभी लाइक ऐसा नहीं कि हम बचपन से हमारे पास ये नॉलेज था, राइट? हाउ वी केम टू नो दैट इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रिवॉल्व अराउंड न्यूक्लियस? एनीवन? This is very basic question. How we come to know that electrons revolve around the nucleus? Observation. So observation, like how we can observe electrons? टीचर्स ने बताया, वेरी गुड, टीचर्स ने बताया. We took nucleus as a center. Okay, what other explanations? टीचर्स ने कहां से बताया? Science. Okay, so good, you all are coming to the point that, as someone very rightly mentioned, that who's mentioned that teachers ने बताया, समय mentioned that teachers ने बताया. Uh, and someone very rightly mentioned that experiments, but did we perform those experiments? Did we perform experiments and then we came to know that electrons revolve around nucleus? No, right? We, some very experts, some expert people, they perform experiments, and then from their experiments we came to know that electrons revolve around nucleus by our teachers and by our books, right? Through our books. So similarly, many people may say many different things. Someone might say that okay, this is good. Someone might say no, that is good. Someone might say that no, both are okay, कुछ भी चलता है, ये भी चलेगा वो भी चलेगा. But what is that what is that authority? Some, there should be some authority, right, to differentiate that this is good, this is bad. So just like in our science, in our technology and science, we have our books related to physics and chemistry and maths, which tell us that no, electrons revolve around nucleus. That's why we accept those books, right? So similarly, there are scriptures which are like guide for our entire universe and for the entire nature and everything. Just like अभी जैसे मेरा ये कंप्यूटर है, कंप्यूटर के साथ किस तरह से डील करने का, उसका अगर मुझे परफेक्ट नॉलेज चाहिए, तो आई विल रेफर द मैनुअल ऑफ दिस कंप्यूटर, राइट? Similarly, this whole universe, it is also like a big machine. So surely there must be a manual for this whole universe. And that manual is given by the creator of this universe as a scripture. Now you might feel कि अभी scriptures किसने लिखा, हमें क्या पता, right? But all these things will be cleared in that our third S वाला formula का जो third S है ना, where we will be discussing about scriptures. There will discuss in detail about scriptures कि कहाँ से आए scriptures, किसने लिखा, कहाँ से, how to relate with those scriptures. So all that detailed discussion we'll have then. But for now, we should understand that scriptures are the manuals of this universe. Just like there is a user manual with our mobile and our laptop. Similarly, scriptures are the user manual of this whole universe. So what is good, what is bad, what activity will lead to favorable outcomes, that knowledge we can get from scriptures. And second thing is from our experience also, right? We can experience, right? We are not like dumb fellows that we cannot experience. Suppose like some person, he takes a cigarette, he says ki nahi, scriptures cigarette is also good, right? It feels good, but what is its effect on our health, what is its effect in our life? So we need to understand by these two ways uh, what is the effect of that activity. जो भी हम activity कर रहे हैं उसका effect क्या होगा हमारे ऊपर, उसका effect क्या होगा दूसरों के ऊपर. So that is one way of understanding what is good and what is bad. And the other way of understanding that is more authoritative is from scriptures, because they are the user manuals of life. And as I already mentioned that scriptures, please, it's my request to all of you, don't think scriptures as some kind of faith. वो पुराने जमाने के लोग पढ़ते थे, वो पूजा पाठ करते थे, हमें उसके लिए जरूरत नहीं है. It's not at all like that. If you go deep into the third S, you will really understand how the scriptures are very much relevant in our life and how much they are very important. As we heard from Sridharan, E. Sridharan also, that how they are very important. So that knowledge we get from scriptures, what is good and what is bad, and we can verify that by our experience and what effect that is happening in the life of ourselves and others. Okay, so that was the thing. There is a lot of discussion we can have in this, but just to summarize in short, I said. Hope it
Thank you.
answers the question.
Thank you very much, sir. Quite a inquisitive answer itself. So everyone, please don't worry that your questions are not being answered yet. All these questions are being stored in the Excel sheet. So all these questions of yours, thoughtful questions, will be answered in the upcoming days. So we would be providing you with PDW test link now itself. So whoever has, whoever will finish the test, they can kindly leave the meet. So I have provided the PDW test link. Everyone can kindly go through it and you can leave the meet once it's done. Thank you.